Alrighty, gamers. That didn't sound good, but pretty much. This is devlog number 2. To slide under an object, then it shows you that you've got to jump over the gap. So it tells you that you can shoot to destroy walls. Just has a little bit more jumping. And then it tells you that if you destroy an object, sometimes you can get a secret revealed. Then you get a quote unquote coin. And then it tells you about wall running, because there's this big gap that you can't normally jump across. As you saw there, I died by trying it. But if I try instead to wall run, I can make it. And that's pretty much it. Then obviously once you've beat the tutorial, eventually anyway, it loads you to the error within Unity, where sometimes when you boot up like a tutorial, when I reset to my title, it doesn't always include the lighting of said scene. Screen of the game, title screen, whatever. You've got tutorial, play game, level select, controls, options, and extras. Extras is your Halloween and race levels. Some point I want to revamp the race levels. Okay, I've also got options where you're able to go in and out of full screen, change your game's resolution. And I've got a level select which goes up to level 32 for now. I have to say that was probably one of the hardest things about this game, was trying to find a good title screen. This is doing decent for now. I still want to make a separate room for the player to move to during the level select, because I feel like it clipping over the dome just doesn't look very nice. So at some point I'm planning on putting the player inside the secondary room, which is just the same room but without any of the level stuff. Currently that's what it looks like though. Also, you may have noticed during that title screen and the tutorial level, the player now has a new gun. Obviously the previous beta I had done a little bit of revamping to levels 1 to 3. I have now finished my revamping by revamping levels 1 to 4. I've kept levels 5, 6, 7 and 8 all the same though, because I like these soul parkour elements. But then I've changed the levels 9, which you should see now, it's a new temple level, because I thought it was just badly level design, so I changed it. I also filled in every fall with spikes rather than just a void. So now you can see a fake 4, tell it apart from a real one, and then you've got your target, which you'd shoot, and then you go to the next level. I did keep level 10 the same though, mostly just added spike pits, because I think level 10's level design works fine. Level 11 I made a quick wall jump sequence where you have to quickly wall jump around a wall to get through a gap, and if you do it fast enough it's fine. For level 12 I just made a quick little semi maze where you just have to go for a couple fake walls to make it to the end. Alright, and now on to the final additions, I guess. So from level 13 I had changed the level design to be a more linear level, and I filled all gaps with lava for the player to avoid rather than spikes, because you're in hell. Which the point of these hell levels, which you just saw me do level 13, okay, point of these hell levels is to be a revamp of the previous levels, except they're just supposed to be harder. Hence why you've got an iconic stage of it, like hell level, this is the hell level equivalent of level 10, where instead of being a super easy level, it's now filled with hard and precise parkour jumps. But then for hell level 16, you have all of your previous themes combined, except temples kinda missed out on, and your wall jumping is significantly weaker, so you fall a lot faster, so you can only really use it to wall jump rather than wall run. Otherwise you'll fall too fast. The main reason why this is a combination of all of them is because there is parkour that the player has to do precisely in clouds, and if you don't do it, you just fall, because I forgot to add it before. I forgot to add like lava at the bottom. But pretty much you would be falling. Okay, from that. Anyway, so essentially the goal is for the player to do some precise parkour across these gaps, and once they make it across every single gap, they have to shoot a temple style pressure pad, and once they do that, it reveals the ending to the level. Then once that's done, you'd move on to level 17. We are going to cover level 25. So in level 25, the player has received the grappling gun. Now, after a few minor fixes, everything works flawlessly, as you can see. Player can wall run across buildings, they can swing with the grappling gun across them, gain some height. It's just a fun level to play around in. I actually like this as just a fun level to play around with. I have this as my debug level, pretty much. But all of the city levels are contained within a dome, which is not the first time you're going to see this dome, because this is a reality where essentially a virus took over everything and now every single city is in a quarantine. Which is why there's no people here, because they're all being smart and following the quarantine of their city. Pretty much once you're done with that, okay, once you've grappled up to the top of the building, there is the goal, and then you move to the next version of the city where it's pretty much the same, but now the end goal of the level is at a different location. Sometimes it's easier than the previous level, sometimes it's harder. This concept is also the concept behind the brand new desert levels. There we go, there's the goal. So now the gun moves with the camera as intended. This level's concept is essentially you've got a giant Indiana Jones ball chasing the player, and if you get hit with it, you go back to the start. So your goal is to make it through this level as fast as possible without dying, and then you'd win. This level is different from a couple others, but you've got a cactus. You will take 10 damage upon collision with the cactuses. You need to find the small gaps to make it through to avoid getting hit with the cactuses, because your player only has 100 health. Once you've done it, you can hit the box for now anyway. It's going to be poorly. And they can progress to the next level. This level, there's cactuses everywhere. Your goal is to find the goal. You've got a grappling gun still, so you can swing and gain a little bit of speed and momentum around the level. But you've also got to avoid an enemy, which is a bean but westernized. If you stay near the cactuses too long, you will die. But pretty much all you've got to do is you just got to shoot the bean until he dies, and then he's no longer a threat to the player. And then the player can just casually take a stroll down and win.